with me before 10, you would have heard from award-winning Queensland musician Aaliyah, who shared about how her travels inspire her. She said when she's overseas, she's inspired by the people and the places, but when it comes to being home and those big, long road trips, it's a bit more introspective.
There's just nothing better than having all that time to just think. And a lot of the time we don't really give ourselves that time to just not be on our phones, not be watching anything, just really in our heads and obviously focusing on the roads. And yeah, it is quite meditative and it's very introspective and it's really good for creativity to give our brains that space to just think and ponder.
As you look ahead to your next long road trip or adventure, is it possible to be mindful and mind-wise while travelling? Psychology consultant and author Dr. Jo Lukens is with me. Good morning.
Good morning, Susan.
Is it possible to be mindful and mind-wise while we're travelling?
Well, didn't Aaliyah just give us a great example of exactly that? And I love that she also distinguished being mindful of the road as well as we're driving. So that goes without saying. But we do know that there is that difference for many of us between international travel and then those Australian road trips when we do those. We shouldn't be surprised that then we can use those in different ways in terms of our mindfulness and even our creativity.
Yeah. So how does travel or international travel and road trips differ in their impact on creativity?
As Aaliyah said, it's the often international travel for us is those different sights and sounds. As producer Phil was describing to us the amazing holiday that he's got coming up next year, it's going to a new place, it's meeting new culture, it's new languages. So there's that almost overload at times of newness, whereas what we love and that's a part of the challenge at times with our Australian highways is they are long and enduring and beautiful all the same. So it requires different things from us in terms of our processing and our concentrating if we look at it from that perspective, and we do have more opportunity probably for that introspection and deep thinking when we're doing travel, particularly long-term road travel.
Yeah. Can you elaborate on that concept of road trip mindfulness and its potential benefits?
Yeah, so when we talk about mindfulness in any domain, we're talking about that being in the moment and understanding where we're at and what we're doing. It's both concentrating on the drive, as we say, but it also means that we can really embrace that solitude and almost the monotony of the road at times, depending on where you are and what you're doing. And we know that moments of mindfulness are really beneficial for our well-being and our psychological health because it helps us then to be self-aware. It helps us to potentially to de-stress, hopefully. It gives us a lot of chance for us then to maybe even have those moments of sudden thought or we plan. I know when my husband and I take long drives, we're often talking about what's coming up or we're thinking or we're brainstorming ideas. So that opportunity for creativity is probably familiar for many people.
I feel like I come up with my best ideas when I'm driving or whether it's be a road trip or just driving home from work.
Absolutely.
So, yeah. How does immersing ourselves in a foreign culture sort of contribute to creative thinking?
I think what it does is it's such a contrast often to our daily living and what we're used to and what we experience. So I think it's through those contrasts that I guess it offers us two opportunities. One, to be grateful for what we have, depending on where we're travelling, but also to see the world from a different point of view and new perspectives. Having that, what we would call cognitive flexibility, the ability to bend your thinking, if you like, and think about things in new and creative ways, is that sometimes that's what international travel affords us, is that opportunity to look at the world from a different angle. And so that, by default, will make us more creative.
Yeah, you're already out of your comfort zone, so you're happy to extend that a little bit more while you're in that bubble, outside the bubble.
Absolutely.
Yeah. What sort of strategies can we use to balance the external stimulation with internal reflection? Because it can be a lot.
It can be a lot. And I think moments of downtime are really helpful for that. So I think our producer Phil was saying that he is going to sit on the beach, was it, with his toes in the water?
Yeah, I think he was talking about hydrating or something.
Something like that with lots of fruit.
Yes.
So you can do those sorts of activities. So to stop and I think that's important for any of us with our travel, is to have opportunities for those down moments. But then some people might like to journal. So journaling is a really helpful strategy that lots of people like to do, writing notes and keeping records of what you might do. Some people like to meditate or just sitting quietly in a park or on a beach, or sitting in a coffee shop even, just watching the world go by. But those moments of contemplation allow us to process what's going on, and so therefore we can get some of those additional benefits of creativity along the way.
Dr. Jo Lukens, how can we bring our holiday mode and those mindsets into day-to-day life?
Yes, I think it's one of those
Yes.
things. Yes, it's one of those things, isn't it? Because you come back from your time away.
Yes, refreshed,
Refreshed,
energized,
yes.
excited. Yeah.
Exactly. And if you think about what it is to say take a holiday, it's to stop doing a whole range of things that you would normally do as part of your day to day. So to go back to your day to day, you have to think about how to incorporate the newness in there. It's being aware of what you say yes to, what you say no to, and revisiting photos, savouring the moment. There's a strong evidence in psychology about savouring and the psychological benefits of really sitting there and saying that was such a great experience, and almost reliving it is what
Yes.
savouring is. And so moments of those, opportunities for those are some of the things that we can do.
Yeah, and maybe it's a reminder that we do need to make that space to push ourselves but also to rest.
Yes, absolutely. Both of those. And you've made such a good point for all of the listeners when you've been saying, what does your next holiday involve? What is your next trip away? So that planning and that anticipation, there's a whole heap of evidence that says even that is part of
Just
the journey.
having it in the calendar.
Absolutely. Something to look forward to. Again, is another moment of joy.
Yeah, absolutely. Dr. Jo Lukens, thank you very much for being with me as always, and we'll chat to you again next week.
Thank you, Susan.
Thank you. You are on ABC Queensland and on the ABC Listen app. Good morning.
G'day.